हेलो एंड सत श्री अकाल प्रोग्राम दिल ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੋਸਟ ਮੀਨਾ ਜੇ ਐਂਡ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਗੈਸਟ ਦੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋਗੇ ਵੈਲ ਨੋਨ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਇੱਕ ਇੰਸਪੀਰੇਸ਼ਨਲ ਲੇਡੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਰਮਨ ਫੈਂਟੀ ਜੀ
Thank you so much. Thank you, Meena, for having me. I really appreciate that. You're so kind.
ਹਾਂਜੀ no problem ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ let's start off with a little bit about yourself ਤੁਹਾਡਾ background ਕਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ born and where you're situated now.
Well, I'm Raman Fenty. I'm a model, actress, and poet. More so poet now.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
मैं Abbotsford nu born hoई sigi.
Okay.
And Abbotsford BC, and then I think about ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ 5 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ Vancouver to shift ਹੋ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ.
So born locally here.
Yeah.
And ਕੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਚਪਨ ਦੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਯਾਦ ਹੋ your childhood, what do you remember about your childhood?
Well, just a lot of triumphs, a lot of it was a long journey, but just yeah, a lot of triumphs. That's all I have to say.
ਹਾਂਜੀ yeah in life zindagi vich ups and downs on the day I mean there's a lot of stuff people deal with so like you mentioned tusi kiya ke poet actress and model a lot of things in one and I'm sure you inspire a lot of youngsters, young girls and boys also. So ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਇੰਟਰਸਟ poetry ਵੱਲ ਜਾਂ acting, being an actress or a model, ਇਹਦੇ ਵੱਲ how did you get into all of this?
I think, you know, when you go through certain things in life, ਜਦੋਂ you know life ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਦੁੱਖ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕੋਈ ਸੁੱਖ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ you know more than a ਕਹਿ hunda. So I think tayo I think for me modeling, acting and jo poetry ya shairi ya mili asan siga likhan le te it's for me jada hava ya it's like fresh air.
ਹਾਂਜੀ and so ਆਪਾਂ poetry ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਆ and sharing your own thoughts, own feelings ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਆ ਕੁਝ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ lines share ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ of some of your poetry?
Would you? Okay. Well, I have it written down, Bill. I can't.
Okay. So ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ poetry ਕਰਦੇ when you write down where does it come from? Like what are your thoughts and what inspires you to write?
I think energy. ਹੁਣ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ so ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੁੰਦਾ I don't know from where like ਕਿੱਦਾਂ I just start writing what the person's feeling or from my own personal experiences ਜਾਂ ਜੇ ਮੇਰੇ friend ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ family ਆ ਜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਵੀ ਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਅੱਜ ਜਾਂ ਕੱਲ ਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ so I try to write it in their perspective ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ through.
ਹਾਂਜੀ and so ਇਹ case is like from a childhood you were writing thoughts, writing poetry. When did you start and how did it develop with age?
I think high school ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ 13 ਸੀਗੀ ਡਾਇਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰੀ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ anything ਜਾਂ friend ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੜਾਈ ਜਾਂ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਂ you know if I had a good day, if I won an award, I would write always. ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਮੈਂ ਲਿਖਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ and then through high school, end of high school and then after college and whatnot, then I started to write even more. And then I started modeling because I wanted to experiment, modeling and acting and with film and stuff. And then Mecca, you know what? I actually want to write it in a way where other people can feel it as well. So, yeah.
And so, talking about modeling and acting, where did you model, or what kind of platforms was it?
Well, I've for film, I've done recently. I did a film. It's regarding domestic violence. It's for NISA Helpline.
Okay.
I've done other. The reason why I wanted to go through these certain social justice stuff is because of my own personal experiences. So I felt that you know je kisi ko awaaz nahi hegi ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ help ਕਰਨ ਲਈ at least they can look up to someone or even not even me, at least they can inspire or something sparks in them and say hey you know what, if this girl can go through that and if she can do that I can do it. So that's my main.
And I think that's important. So just touching on your film that you said that you did about domestic violence, maybe tell us more about that.
It's basically for a person of color, like it's a woman that has a Muslim background. Oda na Miriam ya, and it's basically for colored women that can't talk. Because in traditional ਘਰ ਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਜੋ ਮਰਜੀ ਹੋਵੇ, doesn't matter if they're Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, ਜਾਂ ਗੋਰੇ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਚੀਨੇ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਕਾਲੇ ਹੋਵੇ, doesn't matter, ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਡਰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ I can't talk, I can't speak, or what if like I get embarrassed or someone embarrasses me or something happens, or if ਜੇ ਘਰ ਦੀ ਬੇਇੱਜ਼ਤੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਛ ਕਿਹਾ. So it's like, no, you don't have to go through that. So NISA is like a private helpline where you can get help anonymously and whatnot, and that's what the film was based about, is a girl, her journey, she was facing abuse, and then finally she just gives up and says, no, this is not right.
And so why do you think age issue, and I know especially in our community, jira apa we try to portray ke everything is fine, ja apa aap di life de vich ke ਜਿਹੜੀ ਘਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ, no matter what's happening inside, and not talking about it outside. There's also this stigma. What made you, or why do you think it's important to raise these issues, especially in the South Asian community?
Because I'm going to be very honest, because I went through it myself. So, and I've seen it with my family, I've seen it with my friends and whatnot, and I've had that experience. So for me, it's very important, because I'm a very vocal person in that sense. Like if I have something to say, I'm going to say it and be upfront about it, and really fight for what you believe in. Thoda haq banda hai, to fight.
True. But sometimes I think especially in our South Asian community, where the woman is ke eh haq nahi hunda, if you talk back it's not right. So how did you overcome some of these barriers that I guess culturally put in place or expected of a woman?
Oh wow. Art. I think art and support system. You have to have, not just with family, but like with your friends too, because I do believe like your friends can be your family as well, and you have to have that support system and love and unconditional love, right? So you have to have that to kind of give you that backbone, that spine, and I'm very lucky and blessed and fortunate to have that, so where I can express myself through art and whatnot, and not have to be judged. And even if I am, that's okay. I don't mind.
And I think that's a obstacle, I think a big, that not care about what other people are judging, because in our life we have to make our own decisions. So sometimes some girls or boys don't have that support, or jida mom and dad maape keh dende nahi izzat बेइज्जती होगी, stay in a relationship, or don't do this, and they don't really have that support. What advice, or what can you say to them, how they can get out of such situations or help themselves?
Well, first I just want to say to the boys and girls that are in that situation, or if they feel alone, if they feel like, my parents don't understand me, my family doesn't understand me, what I would like to say is, you know what, you're not alone. You're not alone at all, and don't think you're crazy, and just don't think that you don't have anyone, and find a space for yourself. Find a hobby, find a talent, something that makes you happy. If there's something that makes you happy, progress on it, because when you progress on that, it's going to grow and grow and grow. And I really do believe in energy, where if you have positive energy, you have that sukoon thode andar de vich haiga, people are going to feel it. People are going to feel that peace, that positivity, that goodness, and automatically it's going to just attract towards you. So just to stay positive.
Stay positive, which is important. But any tips of keeping yourself positive? Because sometimes that positive thinking, and yes, I want to be positive, but you're just not able to motivate yourself or stay positive. Any tips that you can give of thinking positive or changing your mindset to positive?
Yeah, because I feel like with because your mind's always fluctuating, because sometimes you're going to have days where you're so positive and you're like, yeah, I can take over the world, and then you're going to have days where you feel like the world's ending. So I just feel like do things that make you happy. whether it's like watching funny videos, whether it's writing, whether it's reading, whether it's going for a walk, meditation, anything. Jo kuch bhi haiga, ya just do things that make you happy to kind of have that balance.
Yeah, true. Like everybody has days that are sad and happy. It's a normal part of life. Ke apna mood jehda hunda oh up and down ta hunda, and it's how we deal with it. And kidda ode naal apa deal karna hunda, and to go through those obstacles, and I guess it's a habit that we form of gratitude, being thankful and being positive. So we're going to take a short break in a few minutes, and when we come back ਹੋਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, and maybe about your journey and what your experience was. So ਵਾਪਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ after this short break. Welcome back. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ program ਦਿਲ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ with your host Meena J, and ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ with Raman ji, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ model, poet and actress. Community ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ well known and very inspirational young lady. So ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. So before the break we were talking about having a positive mindset, and also ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਕ movie ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ about domestic violence, and also ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ touch ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ about your own personal experience. ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ about ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕੀ journey ਸੀ ਜਾਂ experience ਸੀਗਾ, and how you overcame that.
Well, I was raised by a single mother. She worked double shift, day in and out, and she is honestly one of my strengths. She's been there throughout everything. She's taught me how to be a strong woman. She's is literally like my God. Yeah.
So I think especially in our community, and when a single mother or parents, whether it's mom, dad, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਕ connection ਹੁੰਦੀ to family, and especially at a young age, those are our role models. So what do you think, because times are changing, and life is getting busier, how do you stay connected to your kids, or kids to parents, and developing that relationship where you're not always on the go, and you are being a positive role model?
Well, I feel like the important thing is communication. You have to have communication, whether it's with your parents and whatnot. And like you said, times are changing. We're getting older. Our parents are getting older, and whatnot. So it's important to have that level of connection, understanding, and communication. Because if you don't communicate and you don't have that understanding, things can go either way.
And so when you were growing up, and you had your mom, and growing up in your family, siblings, what were some of the challenges you faced?
I think for me, it was mostly because I was a girl. Idda nahi karna, aah nahi karna, baal nahi idda karne, loki ki kahange, this and that. No, like tu thoda ja, cool reh, calm reh, like don't like. And then in my 20s I came back with a vengeance. So I did modeling, I apne baal katte, I like colored it. I was like, who cares, I'm going to express myself. Everything that I never got to do, I did it. So and my mom was still kind enough to be like, you know what, chal meri kudi hai, chal koi na tu kar la, that's okay, so I was really happy about that.
And I think sometimes parents are protective because they've experienced things themselves, and I think jira, especially in our community, single parent, I think is more conscious, and then you being a girl that don't do this or don't do that, and log ki kahange. I think this is a big problem all around in all cultures, of what people might say, but when we look at it, what do you think, why there's this so much emphasis on log ki koge, and ki apa lokan nu dikhana hunda bahar, no matter what's going on inside, but we have to portray this kind of perfect life?
I'm so happy you brought that up, because all my life I feel like I've been compared. It's either to like my uncle's kids, my aunt's kids, like odi kudi ain kardi, oda munda ain karda, but it's like, why? What do you need to show? Because I feel like for them, how they say thode nyane thode ijjat ya? That's what it is. But they take that so far And they take it so far to a point where they're just like, okay, because ਇਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਆ, so if they're doing good, it makes me look good. Right? ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ ਵੀ you know ਜੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਫਿਰ automatically ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਆਉਣੀ ਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਫਰੈਂਡਾਂ ਕੋ ਜਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਘਰ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਕੋ. But it's like no, you know ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਦਿਖਾਓ. Right? ਪੈਸਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਬਣਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਨਿਆਣਾ you know like blossom, they're gonna to grow, right? So
I mean comparing and at the end of the day you know you have to do what's right for you, and especially with your children. So growing up in your family, growing up with your mom, was she always supportive in what you wanted to do, like pursue your passion, or you know going to modeling? How was the response to that?
She was scared. She was like, oh my god, like why? Like her first initial response was like, oh my god, tere ghar wale ki kahoge, kudi modeling karenge, hi. Right? So but then she started to see the reaction and the response from her friends and then from people and then positive responses, and she's like, okay, you know what, it's not so bad as long as she's doing good. But I think most importantly what my mom instilled in me was to be a good human being.
Yes.
You know dilon karna hai, kisi da dil nahi dikhana, like kisi nu hurt nahi karna. You know jehdi gal karni hai muh te kehni hai, sachi gal karni hai, you know kisi nu dhokha nahi dena, because she's like sareyan de andar rabb hai, we all have a soul. So anything that I get poetry wise, love, pain, happiness, whatever it is, it's from my mom. Like my mom is my everything. So
I mean I was going to ask you, so your inspiration or who inspires you? So I guess that would be
my mom.
Your mom that inspires you the most. Going into like modeling, acting, you know, in the media, sometimes we are self-conscious. I mean, even just regular people are self-conscious. How did you kind of keep yourself grounded and like mentally, how we portray ourselves, especially when we're in front of the camera, we're a bit more self-conscious. And as a girl, the issues that came or the barriers, and how you overcame that and kept yourself grounded and true to yourself?
I think not following the crowd, not following what is the trend, not following what is cool and what's like, you know, if you work with this person, you're going to get this many followers. If you work with this person, you know, it's for me, I wanted to do it because I wanted to express myself. For me, I wanted to do it because I did it for myself, you know, and to experiment different looks and different styles. But I think if you're comfortable in your own skin, and if you have that level of understanding that, you know what, I know who I am, I'm not trying to be someone else. Like for example, like let's just say if someone, I'm just going to throw a name out there, like say if someone's trying to be like Priyanka Chopra, you know, you're never going to get anywhere because that's her journey. Priyanka's journey is very different than what your journey is.
Yes.
That's
And I think sometimes we mix that up because we think social media is so big nowadays, and we want to follow or be like that. So like you said, you kept true to yourself. You didn't want to like do what the crowd was doing. And I mean that is hard in itself. How did you do that?
Because I feel like it all depends on your ideology and perception of success. Sometimes it might take longer, sometimes it's like quick like that, someone discovers you, or sometimes people really mess with your work and they're like, hey, you know what, this person's awesome. But I feel like you really have to be comfortable in your skin, and I feel like I'm so grateful for my childhood and the background that I came from, and seeing my mom go through tough times and going through tough times, whether it was, you know, mental, emotional abuse or physical or whatever that, you know, you face in your life. I think that kept me so grounded because I didn't forget where I came from. And you should never forget where you come from.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. And so how do you think portraying this, especially to the younger generation, so much in social media, especially keeping yourself grounded, true to yourself, being a good human being and doing the right thing, because I think somewhere that has gotten lost. How do you think that this message can be portrayed to, I mean, kind of the younger generation coming up?
I think because social media is such a huge thing. And it has caused a lot of depression in people's lives, like a lot with mental illness and whatnot. I feel like social media it's very powerful, and if it's not handled correctly, it could lead you to a dark path.
Yes.
So the youngsters, I feel like they just gotta not get sucked into that so much, you know, and discover who you are. I think that's the biggest thing. I feel like if you discover who you are, whether it's through your art or whether it's through whatever you like to do, and that's going to keep you grounded.
Yeah.
Because when you see someone that's doing really well, like if it's like a YouTuber or an actor or someone else, automatically you look up to them and you want to be like them. So then you'll try to emulate them, right? Don't try to emulate someone. You know, there's only one of you, right? Your original copy.
Yeah.
So that's you.
Yes.
Be you always.
Yeah. And so in the future, what are kind of your plans going ahead, moving ahead, and in the future, where are we going to see you more on the screen, or what kind of things are you doing?
Well, right currently I'm actually working on a project. It's my poetry book.
Okay.
It should be coming out. Writing lots of scripts and whatnot. So I kind of want to be more behind the scenes, because I feel like if you're more behind the scenes and you learn from that, then it's easier to be in front of the camera. Okay, so I mean, looking forward to reading more of your stuff that you're gonna have, and that's gonna be available. And I want to thank you कि तुसी studio ਵਿੱਚ आए ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ. Thank you.
Any message you'd like to say to everybody that's watching?
Just be true to yourself. Don't try to emulate anyone. Just be you, and live your life to the fullest, and do what makes you happy, and stay positive and stay grounded. And no matter what happens in life, always give unconditional love, because some way, shape or form, God's going to give it back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Raman ji. So ਇੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਸਮਾਪਤ ਹੋਇਆ. ਉਮੀਦ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਇਆ. Until next time.
ਸਾਡਾ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵੇਖਣ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨ ਲਈ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਚੈਨਲ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਤੇ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਬਟਨ ਤੇ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰੋ.